Hello and welcome to our viewers on ASI News broadcast, bringing you the latest top news for today. First French airstrikes in Iraq hit ISIL depot. France carried out its first airstrikes in Iraq Friday, hitting a logistics depot held by the Islamic State extremist group, French President François Hollande announced. Hollande, in a statement issued by the Élysée presidential palace, said the target in northeastern Iraq was entirely destroyed in the attack by Rafale fighter jets. It was the first public acknowledgement by a foreign country that it had added its military muscle to U.S. airstrikes against Islamic State. The extremist group, also known as ISIL, has drawn worldwide condemnation, including an unanimous UN Security Council resolution for such barbarous acts as the beheading of 2 U.S. journalists and a British aid worker. Other operations will follow in the coming days, Hollande said. He did not elaborate on what material was stored at the depot or its exact location. Hollande told reporters on Thursday, however, that France would not go beyond airstrikes in support of the Iraqi military of Kurdish Peshmerga forces and wouldn't attack targets in Syria, where ISIL is also operating. The French airstrike took place while U.S. General Martin Dempsey, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, was in France for meetings with his counterpart, General Pierre de Villiers. The two men were visiting an American military cemetery in Normandy on the English Channel when the French strike took place. Dempsey, who was told of the attack by de Villiers, praised the French action, saying it hit a target north of the Iraqi town of Mosul. Rick Perry hints at 2016, "I know to be prepared this time." During a tour in China last week, Rick Perry said he had been preparing for 20 months for another presidential campaign and blamed his poor performance in 2012 on a back surgery he was recovering from. Perry blasted the Obama administration on Friday for failing to secure the southern border and blamed the federal government for saddling Texas citizens with the expensive task. When it became abundantly clear that the federal government was not going to address this issue, not going to do their constitutional duty, frankly, then we moved Department of Public Safety, law enforcement, and Texas Ranger recon teams, along with our parks and wildlife wardens, into a very forward-leaning position to send a clear message that you cannot just cross the border at will. That was about a $12 million a week effort there. So a substantial cost to the people of the state of Texas that is being carried because we realize that this is the federal government's responsibility, but we realize that they're not going to do their job, Perry said. He urged the Federal Aviation Administration to use drones to monitor the border, stressing the security threats posed by a poorly monitored southern border. So if the federal government will not secure the border of Mexico, Texas will. And I think it's that important for people all across this country. It's not just a Texas issue, and this isn't a Republican or a Democrat issue. This is an American issue of security for this country, Mr. Perry said. Anyone who has a sense of what's going on in the world, seeing what's happening in the Middle East, hearing ISIS promise that they're going to come to America and they're going to create jihad here, we need to be secure in our borders, he said. Stay with us on ASI News broadcast with all the latest news from the U.S. brought to you from the American Studies Institute from Tehran. You can also check our website at www.asipress.us. Thanks for watching.